Sir is a geologist by profession. He was serving at a prestigious post in the United Nations, in the United Nations Development Program. The United Nations took him to projects in Africa. In fact, he served in the government of Nigeria in the Water Resources Department. He was instrumental in setting up the Sathya Sai Organization in West Africa and in Nigeria. At Bhagawan's command, he chose to spend the rest of his life in Prashanti Nilayam. His entire family has been one which has offered their life to Swami. And Swami, like a true member of the family, has guided each and every member of the family. The stories, the leelas of Bhagawan that he has witnessed, and in fact his entire family has witnessed, are folklore of Sathya Sai Avatar. We are fortunate to have Sir amongst us today. I welcome Sir and request him to take us to those good old days. SAIRAM.
The speaker generally offers pranams at the Lotus Feet. Today, with a difference, I request all of you to join me in offering pranams in a different way. I want all of you to close your eyes for a couple of seconds. Connect ourselves to the inner self. Shall we do that? Swami. Thank you. దేవుడనగా వేరు దేశమందున లేడు, దేవుడుండు తనదు దేహమందే. పాపమనగా వేరు పరదేశమున లేదు, తను చేయు పనుల తగిలియుండే. Bhagavan Baba repeatedly used to sing this. God is not in a foreign country. God is very much within. Likewise, sin is attached to the action that is performed. Sisters, brothers, and my unique young adults, boys and girls, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity of inviting me to come and share a few thoughts with you. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, soon after his discourse with the devotees, he would ask, "Do you have any question?" On that particular day, Sri Ramakrishna spoke on Karma Yogi Tattva. Naturally, Ramakrishna used to be very jovial. One of the devotees raised the question, "Master, you wanted us to follow Karma Yogi Tattva and do seva. To do seva, we need money. I don't have. To do seva, we need strength in the body. We don't have. If so, can you suggest something that is seva at the same time take us to cross the ocean of samsara?" Ramakrishna smiled, said, "There is. Do you speak about God?" The gentleman said, "No, I can't speak." "Do you accelerate to bring in a few devotees and make someone speak? And the devotee said, yes, I think I can. This is exactly what Samarpan children are doing all over. This is not the first time Samarpan thing that is going on. Swami himself, Bhagawan himself has commenced. He was the first member of Samarpan. I'll tell you how. Pariraraya Patipuri ki bhavanu choda pavanulana pariraraya Japatapamulanu cheyanakkaraledu nija bhaktito mari nama smarane chalu. Good olden days. Soon after his declaration in 1940, those days when he was in that hut called Patamanjiram, he used to sing this. What is the meaning of this? Run away from your houses, you have no time to inform your kith and kin. Come to Puttaparthi. Come and sit here. Japa, tapa, you need not do anything, just be there. Japa tapa mulanu cheyana karaledu nija bhakti to mari nama smarane chalu. Take the name of Rama, Krishna, Govinda. That is enough. Chapalarahita munaku chotuvaka miru. Don't unnecessarily get involved with others to discuss this and that, what is called capital G, gossip. Sadgati pandu, sadgati nundutaku pariraraya. This is how he gathered people. Sathya Sai Baba, hardly 13.5 years old. This is how Samarpan commenced. Samarpan doesn't mean Arpana. Samarpan means, Swami said once, it is Tvajadurjana samsargam bhaja sadhu samagamam kurupunya mahoratram smaranitya anityatan. Run away from bad company, get to the good company. When you are in good company, try to do good work. Any work that you do is God's work. When you do that good work, constantly contemplate on the divine feelings of that Lord, what is transient and what is permanent. On that note, Sathya Sai Baba himself inaugurated this. Today, I have been specifically told my brother that I should share some experiences. This is what happens in Prashantanilayam. Whenever people come and see me, say, tell me your experience. Yeah, experience is needed, no doubt. But we should not stay in that experience. Each one has experience. Anyone who has come to Sathya Sai Baba should have experience. There's no doubt about it. What is this experience? Love of God, love for God. So on that theme, love of God is Advaitic phenomenon. Love for God is Dvaitic phenomenon. Love of God is unconditional. Love for God is conditional. Love of God is from creator to creation. Love for God is from creation to creator. But in that creation, we are number one, Jantunam Narajanma Durlabham. Number one, when I say, Shankara Bhagavatpada said, Durlabham Trayam Yevaita Daivani Hetukam Manushyatvam Mumukshatvam Mahapurusha Samsrayam. There are three things impossible for man to have. One, if you have that, you are the most fortunate one. Shankaracharya said, what is the three? Manushyatvam, human body, mumukshutvam, yearning for freedom. We are all here today saying enough is enough, we'll come back later. Let's go and sit there in Dharmakshetra and get back. So some sort of freedom that you are looking for, what people say it's a liberation. It's not liberation, just something out of normal work. And then third one is Mahapurusha Samsraya, company of a holy man. One day, Sathya Sai Baba, in Trayi Vrindavan, he was just coming in and he was talking on this. At the end, he said, it is Mahapurusha Samsrayam Kadra, it is Mahapurushottama Samsrayam. This is not ordinary Mahapurusha, holy man's company, this is Mahapurushottama. Then he said, you have bonus point, but yet scarcity in the land of plenty. So we, the devotees of Bhagavan Baba, we have the fourth point, and I am yet to understand why he said scarcity in the land of plenty. That's it. Birth, life, action of avatar are inscrutable. It's a mystery. You can't understand. I want to give a few examples in my own life how confused a devotee could be when he comes to Bhagavan Sathya Sai Baba for the first time. Let me begin. Where am I to begin with? Yes, I'll begin like this. When my mother was carrying me, a monk, wandering monk, came to the house. Our family is a very orthodox family of South Indian Shaivite. The monk came, he stayed in the garden for 3 days. She received bhiksha from the parents and he was in silence. Just before he was leaving, he looked at my mother. At that time she was running 7th month pregnancy, carrying me in a room. She served him. Suddenly the gentleman looked at her, Payyam Parandaka Venkateshvaran Peru Veyi. If the baby boy is born, give him the name Venkateshvara. Simply said it. It's because he was proceeding to Tirupati during that particular period, I believe. Ladies are ladies. They always want an alternative. Ponnu paranda enna peru vekkirathu? Mother asked. If the baby girl is born, what name you want me to give? The saint said, I believe, Alimelu Mangatayaran Veya, Alimelu Mahalakshmi. Give that name. And then he said, he went away. So my mother had lot of hopes, thinking that offspring would be born, he or she for that matter, would be very intelligent, he would earn good name, blah blah, all sorts of imagination. Soon after, I was born. You know what's happened? For the first 8 years, I refused to go to school. Virtually every day I was beaten by everybody in the village to drag me to the school and leave me there. And during the interval, I will disappear from the school and go and sit in the temple, I believe. This went off till I was 8 years old. One day my father came to me and said, Bala Yogi Vandanrikaram. Bala Yogi is coming to our place, let us go and take darshan. And when he said that, it seems I looked at him, Appa, Bhagavan Varan Cholakudado, idukku Bala Yogi Cholano. Can't you say God is coming? Why do you say Bala Yogi? This is our question. And with that question, my father had to ask me, how do you know தெரியாதுப்பா வாயில் வந்துடுத்து. I do not know, pa, it has come, it has just come. I uttered, and that was the entry of my life into Sathya Sai Baba arena. Baba came. My father took all of us for darshan. I have virtually forgotten. Even on the other day, my sister was reminding me, what a fortunate fellow you are. Swami came, I believe, and looked at me. My father took Pada Namaskar, but I didn't know what Pada Namaskar. I was just sitting. And Swami, after some time, he went away. The moment we got back home, I told my father, Appa, school ku ponume. That was the turning point of my life. By mere one darshan of Bhagavan Baba, there was no communication whatsoever. Darshanam papanasanam, this is what was realized. And then I started going to school, my father being a very influential person in Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam. So he has arranged my double promotion in initial stages, and then till I got to the university, there was no stop. That is the power of avatar. Avatar knows all, but none knows him. That is the greatness of avatar. When such an avatar comes, he brings something, distributes to all of us, and those of us who are Sathya Sai Baba devotees, we really enjoy this, and we have confused ourselves to dreams. Every devotee of Bhagavan Baba gets a dream. Sometime back, when he was in the physical frame, during 90s, he used to say, you are all getting indigestion dreams. Indigestion dreams, according to him, an eccentric behavior. I'll give you one or two examples. This happened in Prashantinilayam. A boy comes to my office and says, Sir, I had a dream last night. I was to marry one particular person. After 3 days, the girl comes to me and says the same thing. I was asked to marry this particular person. All that I did was, Amma, did you tell your parents? And the girl says, Uncle, you know what happens if I tell my parents, you know what will happen? This will not. I see. So why did you come to tell me this? No, Uncle, if you can perform this wedding, we will be grateful. Boy, girl, both they came. I said, you had a dream, she had a dream. Likewise, let Swami tell me in the dream, then I can perform your wedding. Na briya sacham apriyam. Don't unnecessarily hurt anybody by saying what is called truth. So I used that tactics, and then, Uncle, you are telling something. I said, Amma, it is correct thing. You had a dream that you have to marry this boy, and the boy had a dream. But likewise, don't you think Swami has to come in my dream and tell? Then I can perform your wedding, definitely. Then I said, that Swami will never tell you. Swami always says, Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atiti Devo Bhava. And here you are coming and telling, contrary to his own principles. This is what is called indigestion dreams. I constantly have dreams, and Bhagavan Baba speaks to me only in dreams, tells me even today how to go by things, how to do things, how to work. And then he would point out to such an extent, actually they are all visions, I should say. My pilgrimage began way back in 1988. It so happened, I had a lovely dream. Parvati Parameshwara appeared. We were all climbing the mountain to reach that Supreme Master. Durga, on the peak of the mountain, was asking every one of us to climb fast. Come up, Master is waiting. Many of us were trying to climb and many have fallen. I was the only one to reach the peak. She gave me the hand and pulled me to the top and said, your Master is waiting. When she said that, she disappeared and Master appeared. I took it very seriously. I said, Master is waiting. Then I began to search, who is the Master I'm talking about? It so happened, I had a call all the way from India asking me to come to Prashantinilayam. I reached Prashantinilayam. Bhagawan Baba comes for the darshan, looks at me somewhere the backyard of the Kulwant Hall. You veranda la vandu okkaru. You come and sit in the veranda. Veranda is supposed to be, we have two zones. One is House of Commons and another is House of Lords. And some selected people, so-called VIPs, are given preference to make everyone sit in that particular place called veranda. The proximity of Swami is so. I got up to go. In the meanwhile, one Sevadar says, sit down. Not you, sir, sit down. So I sat. After a couple of minutes, Swami passes by and looks at me. I was not getting up. Baba comes, retraces the path, comes and asks me to get up, come with me and sit in the veranda. Believe me, Bhagavan did not talk to me. All that he said is come and sit in the veranda. I went and sat. Baba comes and says, Venkatesh, I know everything. He called me by first name. He said, I know everything. What am I to think? Here is a person, I met him long, long ago, and he says, I know everything. At that particular point of time, when I entered into Prashantinilayam, I did not even get a room. Those days, we used to be staying in the dormitory. When immediately Master sends instructions to the accommodation asking me to be shifted to a comfortable room. Then he gives permission to come and sit right in front of his chair in the mandir. Then he says, come to Trai. It was all going on. I was totally confused. I don't know what is the reason. We do not know. Then he has given all this. One day he asked me, I am going to Vrindavan. You better come behind me. So whenever Swami leaves the ashram, there are at least 50, 70 cars would go behind, means taxis. So I took a taxi and then I followed. When I went there, Swami caught flies. He reached 2 hours before. By the time I went, all the people disappeared. In the sense, once Swami enters into his room, his mandir, nobody stays in Vrindavan. But I went, and as I got down, in those days we were supposed to present our passport. And when I presented my passport to the accommodation office, he said, "Sir, your name is Venkatesh. Swami booked your room." Swami, 2 hours back, when Swami came, he stopped the car and he booked your room, and this is your room. Oh, what's it? What is it? Why all these things? I mean, I was not able, totally confused for that matter. Then, drama commences. It is very easy for us to say that we have reached the feet of holy man. 1993 to 1994, one zone. I would like to tell you how the treatment started. Avatar sharing himself his grace. In 1993, there was a dirty incident that took place in Prashanthi Nilayam. I do not know how many of you are familiar with. In this incident, Radha Krishna lost his life. A devotee who served Bhagawan Baba for 22 years, he lost his life. This happened on the 6th night, 7th. On 13th, Swami called me and my family for an interview into Purnachandra, where he was staying at that particular time. First thing he did was he materialized Vibhuti and opened these 2 buttons and started rubbing all over. Started rubbing all over and then said, "Venkatesh, I will look after you." Sathya Sai is a great mystery, brothers and sisters. This is what I am trying to bring out. When he started, I had a lingam in my hand. I started massaging his feet with a lingam. And the lingam was given to me by a friend of mine coming from all the way from Varanasi. Sathya Sai Baba, when I was massaging his feet, he suddenly asked for the lingam and then said, it was a black stone. He showed it to others saying that, look at, this is Brahmanda lingam. You can see Sathya Sai Baba on one side, Shirdi Sai Baba on the other side, and the third, Prem Sai Baba. 3 Sai Babas can. When I gave the lingam to him, it was jet black stone. And then he just said, see this Brahmanda lingam. That lingam is still with me. I do puja every day, and this is how he taken into the proximity of Prashanthi as well as Vrindavan, wherever we used to. Now, on this 15th, 693, Swami called 3 people, the Vice Chancellor of the University, Sathya Sai Organization Chief G.V. Satyanarayana, and myself into his residence. When he called me into the residence, he looked at 3 of us. You are all worried about what has happened on the 6th. Nothing has happened. I want to tell you, but you are so worried. The Vice Chancellor Sampath tells him, Swami, the entire world is worried, entire university is worried. The way things went off, it should not have happened in the ashram. Then, Chumaire, he said, just keep quiet. Then he turned to Satyanarayana and asked, what's happened? Then Satyanarayana Garu, who is the All India Sathya Sai Organization president, he said, Swami, I brought a letter, a draft. You have to go through and then give it to me, then I publish it in Sanatana Sarthi. But it must reach all the members of the organization. Where to go? Swami said, you also keep the letter. Then Swami turned towards me and asked me, Venkatesh, nee enna solra? What do you want to say? Swami, inna nadandhu Swami, onnume nadakalaye. Inimedhan Swami, inimedhan nadakka vendidala nadakkum. Brothers and sisters, if you carefully analyze, the entire projects of Sathya Sai has taken off only after 93. Swami looked at the Vice Chancellor. Kappalla kuchona kadara na mandu. Kupasta mandukas, like frogs you are sitting around me. Here is a man who comes from Africa. He says nothing has happened. And you are so much worried about. Then suddenly Swami said, Inka 30 samvatsaralu nenu untanu. Another 30 years I will be with you. Then he turned towards me and said, Kani eppudu anukunte appudu potanu. Whenever I will to leave, I would leave. This is what has happened. When Sathya Sai Baba left the body at 85, everybody said, Baba said that he would live with us till 96. And how come he left at 85? But he revealed between 2000 and 2010, repeatedly he said he was leaving early. Because what he said has to happen. But in the meanwhile, we got into all sorts of criticism. We have not even spared him for that matter. Ichcha Marana Prapti, there is a term in Vedanta. I do not know how many of you know. Gandhari cursed Sri Krishna. When the war was over, Sri Krishna came to meet Gandhari and Dhritarashtra. At that time, Gandhari cursed Sri Krishna, saying, Krishna, you will also be killed. In 36 years, you will also be killed. Then Krishna looked at Gandhari, Akka, don't curse me. You are not supposed to curse me. At that time, Krishna was 86 years old. In 36 means 86 plus 36 becomes 122. Krishna should have left the world when he was 122. But if you see Bhagavatam says Krishna lived up to 125. Ichcha Marana Prapti. Avatars can extend or shorten for that matter. We could not understand. Same thing happened to Bhishma. Bhishma extended by 58 days, is it not? Waiting for Uttarayana. So, నేను ఇంకా 30 సంవత్సరాలు ఉంటాను కానీ ఎప్పుడు అనుకుంటే అప్పుడు పోతాను. And that is what Sathya Sai Baba has done. At the end, he decided to leave and so he left. Now, let me give you one or two instances. I have two wonderful children. Both sons studied in Swami's institutions. One is in UK now, in Cambridge University. The second is in Sweden. He is Doctor of Medicine in a Karolinska University. Swami promised my son Ashwin, when he was doing his secondary school, he was in the 7th class, he said, I will make you a doctor, you will be a doctor. Now, this boy continued, he came to 12th standard, Swami called me and said, Venkatesh, he will be the doctor. I will train him and he will appear for the examination. Then you should get ready. You should admit him. When he came to 12th class, I went all the way from this part with money preparing to admit him in the medical college. And Swami comes and tells me, Venkatesh, after 12th class, children going to the medical college is not good because they are not in a position to cope with the studies. Let him study BSc. He was admitted to BSc and then I went away on my work. Then he finished his BSc and got gold medal. When I came back, Sathya Sai Baba again changed the course of action, and he said he should do MSc. Mind you, he has been telling me from the beginning, when he was in secondary school, that he would become a doctor, he should do only that course. In MSc, when he finished, at that time I was in United States. Suddenly he decided that my son Ashwin should work for his hospital in Bangalore. He was sent to America for further course. When he returned, he was admitted, started working in super specialty hospital in Bangalore. For 12 years he worked. Every time he would tell me, Papa, look at Baba. You always say whatever Baba says it will happen. See what has happened to me. My fate is sealed, Papa. My fate is sealed in the sense I am just a technical assistant in super specialty hospital. I told him, don't. What Baba speaks is the truth. What Baba does is dharma. Just wait. How long you want me to wait, Papa? Let me continue. He decided there was no way of. After 12 years of work, suddenly a group of doctors from Sweden arrive in Prashantanilayam to have darshan of Swami. Thereafter they go to super speciality Bangalore to conduct a program. There they have come across this particular boy called Ashwin. One of the doctors asked him, would you like to register yourself for a PhD program in Karolinska? The boy said yes. In 3.5 years, everything has changed. He finished his PhD in Karolinska, and Karolinska admitted him in that institute as echocardiographer, specialist in echocardiography. And today, when I look back and explain this to people, people ask me only one thing: how do you get that type of bhakti in this Lord? I said it is, bhakti means is when you are inseparable, when you are not in a position to leave that particular source, and that is called bhakti. Vibhaktata kanidi bhakti, vibhaktuduga leni vade bhaktudu. In Telugu they say, if you are not separated from the source, you are bhakta. Now, coming to the second son, and the other day I asked him in Cambridge University, I said, how is your sadhana proceeding? How are you? He is a professor in Cambridge University. The boy said, Papa, all that I do is, when I was leaving Prashantanilayam to join IIT Madras, all that Swami told me was one word. The boy told Swami, Swami, you know me from that level, from primary school. Today I finished my MSc, now I want to do MTech course in IIT. I am leaving. You permitted me to go, but I want to ask you one question. What do you want me to give you for all the things that you have done? You educated me from primary level to the postgraduate level. And the boy was told, Swami said, Manchi peru techuko, get a good name to yourself. He doesn't need anything. And the boy says, now he's the director in Cambridge University. He says, Papa, this is what I have been doing. Manchi peru tetsuko. Now, come to me. I was declared dead, and he brought me back. I'll give you the details of that. On 3rd April 94, he sent a message asking me to resign my job. On 4th morning, I resigned and then prepared to come and see him in Prashantinilayam. Just before I was leaving, I had another offer from World Bank, and the second offer has come from UK. My son told me, Papa, take the job, go and report to Sathya Sai Baba, your master. He would accept. I told him, Swami sent a message to me to leave the job, but he did not ask me to take the new job. I returned to Vrindavan on the 12th May. When I came and sat, Bhagawan Baba looked at me. What's happened? In a Samacharam. Swami, I left the job. What? Udyogam Purusha Lakshanam. How can you leave the job? Who will look after your family? In a mundane level he started asking. I cannot just tell, Swami, you asked me to leave the job. But it is the fact. No, you have done a wrong thing. You should take up the job. By the way, what has happened to that World Bank job that you got next day? I started crying. What else to do? A master says one thing and reveals something entirely different when we meet him. I thought. Then he said, on 1st June 94, he called me and he said, you have to go to London for 15 days. Here I was, I resigned my job, and then he is now sending me to England for what? My wife asked Swami, you asked him to resign the job thinking that we could all come and settle down here. We came. Now you are asking him to go. Swami looked at her and said, Nee ipudi. You vacillate and then you don't have that faith. Did Venkatesh ask me any question? He said, when do you want me to go? I told him that he should be there in England on the 6th morning. Specific, brothers and sisters, I can tell you, this Lord. That's what I said, he knows everything, but none knows him. That is Upanishadic truth. He wanted me to go, leave on the 1st June to England, and then he wanted me to be there on the 6th of June. Then when I reached England, I went in, imagine, when 5 days' time you need visa, you need ticket. In those good olden days there used to be 2 flights from Bombay, no flight, direct flight from Bangalore anyway. But still, he arranged everything. I reached that place. When I reached that place, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, executive director, rings me up and says, Sir, you have come from Prashantinilayam. Can you come and deliver a lecture in our place? I asked, I said, how do you know that I am in England? How do you know this number? He said, sir, I have been given. Is it possible? I said, yes, I will. He gave me when was it? Bharati Vidya Bhavan lecture was on 12th June 94. Now, let me leave it this here. Let me connect this with something unique. Our family guru happened to be Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Kanchi Kamakoti. Sakshat Paramacharya is Sakshat Shivavatar. Ever since I got married in 75, my family has been telling me, every time you go to Sathya Sai Baba and sit for 28 days, and 2 days you use for your trip, journey, and you go back, you never bothered to visit your family guru. But I used to tell, Satya is Shankara, Shankara is Satya. They're all the same. My family said, no, it's not correct. Soon after my marriage, my in-laws' pressure was an additional pressure. So I had to tell Swami, pressure is increasing. What do you say, Swami? Swami said, why can't you go and see him and come? Swami, Shankara is Satya, Satya is Shankara, Swami. Adu unakke. For you, but not for others. I go all the way with the family members, 4 of us, 2 sons. When we reached Kanchipuram, when we got down, darshan was over. All the people were coming out of mud. Kanchi Kamakoti has just entered his hut and the doors were closed. Now my people started telling me, look at you. Kanchi Kamakoti doesn't want to see you because you did not come to see him earlier. I said, Illamma, Shankara is Satya, Satya is Shankara, ma. Adu mari sollakudadumma perivala. Said, it's not like that. Shankara is Satya, Satya is Shankara. So having come, we thought we could go and take some pradakshina of the mandir. My people said, you better go and take pradakshina because they were annoyed, is it not? They were waiting outside. So I came to take pradakshina. When I was doing the second pradakshina, somebody came running from the mutt and looked at a couple of people there. In Africa, is there anyone who has come from Africa? And I thought he was looking for a VIP. And then I said, nobody was forthcoming, and he was still insisting. He said, there should be somebody from Africa here. Then I raised my hand. I said, if you don't find anybody here, I also come from Africa. Then that gentleman said, Perivar, Vogara, Ashnu Achuna, husband and wife and 2 children, Africa and Mandarikana, please come. See, Kanchi Kamakoti, he retired. Once he retires, he doesn't come out. But today is something special. He came out. He said that I should go and call somebody who has come from Africa. You are 4 people, you are the one, please come. So we go to him, profuse blessing we received. At that level, masters are all the same. This is what I'm trying to tell. So profuse blessing I received, and then we returned. Why I had to raise this thing is, this happened way back in 80s. Bharati Vidya Bhavan thing happens 94. Now, Bhagawan Baba sends me to this particular place Then I realized when I went to accepted to give the lecture, when I went there, I saw a huge picture of Kanchi Kamakoti Paramacharya, because Paramacharya left the body on the 8th January 94. The function every month at every level, it was going on. Then I have realized that here is Shankara who called me, and it was Satya who sent me. They are the same. Now Shankara is Satya and Satya is Shankara, 68th Jagat Guru. All these things, when you see, when you live with an avatar, this happens. One thing that happens is, you have to be very, very attentive. He will take you and then suddenly drop you. Pichini patinsu pichini pogottu sachidanandudu SAIRAM. He will make you mad, he will drive your madness. That is SAIRAM. Jogi bogi gacheyu bogi jogi gacheyu Bhagavatagniyo Balarama. If you think that you are a multi-millionaire, overnight he will make you a pauper, and vice versa. Kanniru tapinsu chinmaya murtiyo Chinirama. This Chinirama will make you cry, and before you lift your handkerchief to wipe your tears, his invisible hand would come and then wipe out everything. Chananidu munduku venukaku ranidu manasu marulagulpi madana pettu. He will not allow you to go forward, and he will not allow you to come backward. He will start churning you to such an extent. Yetti chinni chinmaya sayani etturugagalalu yelena meeru. How can you understand such a type of chinni chinmaya sai? I'll give you one example. I had a friend, Gopal Rao. He lived here in Bombay for long. He was working for Bank of Baroda. When he retired from this part, the Andhra Bank has considered him and given him a position as a chairman of Andhra Bank. This gentleman is not ordinary. He saw the Mahasamadhi of Ramana Maharshi. He has dined with Mahatma Gandhi in the train when Mahatma Gandhi, Kasturiba were going from Bombay to Nagpur. This gentleman was in the train at that time he was a student in Bombay. The later part of when he was chairman of Andhra Bank, he had to come to Puttaparthi to settle down. He saw Swami for the first time in Bombay way back when Swami came in 68. He was to translate Swami. He was so nervous. He told Swami, Swami, I can't translate you. You are too fast. You find somebody else. He missed that opportunity. Later on, when he came and settled down in Prashantanilayam, he was crippled. He was my neighbor, confined to the wheelchair. We were celebrating 95th birthday. 95th birthday, with great difficulty, he used to come by the chair. He would come along with me and sit in the veranda. Swami would ask him a question. Gopal Rao, Yanta vayasu? Gopal Rao said, Swami, today I am 95. I am celebrating 95th birthday. And suddenly, Baba looking at me and said, Panchabhutalu, Panchabhutalu. What relationship? He was mentioning that he was 95 on that day. Here is Swami who was referring to 5 elements. He said, Panchabhutalu, Panchabhutalu. And then he started moving. Then I got it. That means Swami would extend his life from 95 for another 5 years. Casually, I happened to tell Gopal Rao Garu, you will live up to 100 years. because Swami mentioned Panchabhutalu. We came to know only when we were celebrating the 96th birthday. Swami asked him the same question, and the gentleman said, Swami, today I am 96. Chatushtaya, Chatushtaya. He said, Chatushtaya means another. I was telling Gopal Rao, I said, this is certain that you are going to live up to 100 years. Gopal Rao said, no, I don't want to live, I am finding it difficult. I said, you better tell Swami to take me quickly. I don't know, but Swami said Chatushtaya. 97th birthday, when that was to be celebrated, Swami said, Trimurti, Trimurti, Trimurti. Another 3 years. That was my guess. Then 98th birthday, when I was sitting next to him, because by the time he has become deaf and he was not able to write anything, I have to write letters to Swami, whatever he dictates. And then every birthday he would give 1 lakh check, 1 lakh rupees. He would give that check to Swami and present it to Swami. So when they were celebrating 98th birthday, Swami came and asked him, said, how old are you, Gopal Rao? Swami, 98. Neevu nenu, yourself, myself. Then 99th birthday, Swami, today I am 99, Swami. Na valla kavatale, Swami, teeskopondi. Take me with you. I am not able to pull on. Century kottistanu. That was a cricket season. He said, century kottistanu. This is what Baba. And he said, then I was certain that he would live 100 years. And 100th birthday, it was celebrated in a very big way in Prashanti. Do you have that picture? That is Gopal Rao. 100th birthday, he came for celebration. Morning, I took him. I made him sit. He was certain Swami would come and ask him, how old are you? He invited the entire village, about 400 people or so, they came from the village because he was celebrating 100th birthday. Believe me, brothers and sisters, Swami comes to the veranda, he did not look at him at all. Pichini patilchu pichini pogottu sachidanandudu SAIRAM. This is what I mean to say. He will make you mad and he will drive you a madness. He did not look at Gopal Rao. Until then, he was looking at Gopal Rao at every birthday. Then Gopal Rao started crying. I saw an old man crying. You know how he cried? He started calling, Swami, 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 why are you doing like this? Today is my 100th birthday. I called so many people, people have come. What will happen to my name? At 100th year, the man is bothered about his name. The ego of a person, how it... Swami did not see him in the morning, he goes away. This is the way Swami does. And this is precisely, it happens to everybody who has been in the proximity of Swami. I'll tell you how. How much is the time? So, I took Gopal Rao to the house. He started crying and he started cursing me. You always talk very high of Sathya Sai Baba. Look at him, how he treated me. I said, still you have half a day. In the afternoon, Swami would come. Perhaps he would see you. He said, I don't want to believe you people. And he started crying. On 100th birthday, he refused to eat. We had a tough time. And I was sitting with him. The time was 12:30. Suddenly somebody comes from Swami with dhoti, pattu dhoti. And the gentleman who came, he said, Swami wanted this to be given to Gopal Rao. So I told Gopal Rao, Garu, I said, morning, what the dhoti that you are wearing was purchased by your son in Bangalore. Swami is sending from his store. You better wear this in the afternoon, perhaps he would call. I convinced him. He got dressed up. I took him in the afternoon. Swami comes in the evening. Gopal Rao, century kuttichana. Did I not make you hit 100? Come, we will celebrate. Swami used to be like this. He brought him, made him sit, and then there was no prasadam for the occasion. Gopal Rao spoke on that day. Swami called another important person to come up and then speak about Gopal Rao. There was no prasadam after the lovely function. Someone came and told Swami, there is no prasadam. Do one thing, go to North Indian canteen, pick up all the sweets available. Go to South Indian canteen, pick up all the sweets available. Go to the Western canteen. Like Swami collected the sweets, asked someone to bring all the sweets from 3 canteens, and then distributed, celebrated in a very, very big way. That evening I came back, I told Gopal Rao, Susara, from today, all that you say, just SAIRAM, SAIRAM, SAIRAM. Just keep chanting SAIRAM. 2 months later, Gopal Rao fell from the cot, around 2:30 in the night. I took him and admitted him in the hospital for treatment. Hip was broken. 3 days later, Gopal Rao left the world with a word, Sai Rama. I saw actually, when he said Sai Rama, his mouth was open and then he left. This is Sathya Sai Baba. Now, coming to similar thing that has happened. Most of the communications that I had with Swami when I was abroad is through dreams. He would speak to me actually in the dream. Sometimes I take it very seriously. It so happened, Swami was asking me repeatedly to come to Vrindavan in 1994. I landed up on 18th of September. At that time, my wife was in Vrindavan because she used to spend 6 months in Vrindavan or around Swami, and 6 months she would come to me wherever I was posted. When I came in, I went to the room and knocked at the door. My wife asked me, "You have just gone, again you have come back, what is the matter?" She said, I said, "Swami asked me to come." I said, "How did Swami ask you to come?" I said, "In the dream." Oh, she said, "Whatever he says in the dream you will do." Again you spend $2,000 to come to this place. I said, "Amma, I will do whatever he says. But there is a reason why he has asked me to come." On the 25th, Swami comes and says, "Venkatesh, Yappa Vandachi, when did you come?" "Swami, vandinde irukken." I said, "I am just arriving." Then, on the 26th, he gave me vibhuti. On the 28th, 30th, every alternate day for that matter, profusely giving vibhuti and part of it rubbing on my chest. On 1st of October, 1994, I entered Trai Vrindavan at 4:10. I had a massive heart attack and collapsed. No heartbeat, no pulse. It was widely published in a book called Inspired Medicine by the two surgeons who worked on me. To cut the long story short, Swami comes all the way and takes his usual medicine, pours again. Venkatesh, nee SAIRAM chadu, get up. Your SAIRAMA has come, get up. 3 times he said. When I got up, in the sense I was not able to get up, he gave the hand and then pulled me, lifted me up, and then he told someone to bring me into his room. For the next 18 days, Swami treated me with vibhuti, nothing else. And finally he says, on the 20th October 94, he said, everything is over. Believe me, I told you on the 13th June 93, for the first time, when he called me into his residence in Purnachandra, he materialized vibhuti and then rubbed. And that has ended on the 20th October 94, when he said, everything is over. I will look after you, Venkatesh, he said. Then he said, don't clap when you sing bhajan. Do not sing bhajan loudly. Come behind me. Don't climb the staircase in Trai Vrindavan. You come behind me, we will go on this ramp. Try metru ekkavadu bangaru. Don't climb the staircase. Treated me till 21st October 94, and then he said, you go to Puttaparthi, I will come behind. In 94, Swami spent 75% of his time in Vrindavan, because at that time the construction of Sai Kulwant Hall was taking place in Prashanti Nilayam. On 21/10, he sent me, he left a message to the secretary in Prashanti Nilayam that I should be given a room next to his residence so that he would look after it. And then super specialty staff members, they were summoned to be with me till 29/10, when Swami himself has arrived. Let us leave that at that. In the meanwhile, my wife was very inquisitive. She said, you had no bad habit whatsoever. How can you get this massive heart attack? So she said, we must go to Shukanadi. Shukanadi will give you your palm leaf reading. Let us find out what exactly happened. When we go to Shukanadi, the gentleman said, ask me anything about you and your 2 sons, but don't ask anything about this gentleman. If you want to know more, I can't speak in front of him. You better call me in the evening, then I will tell you. I was 49 at that time. When she called Shukanadi Gunjur Krishnamurti, he said, morning, you never wanted to speak. You said you have something to. Shukanadi said, this gentleman should have died at 49. There is no life beyond this in Shukanadi. I am surprised how he is alive. That was a proof. Later on, when Swami was telling other people, he has work to do, and so he has to be there, I back. That's how that chapter has taken place. I was a hero at that time in Prashanti Nilayam. I entered that place as zero. He made me a big hero. And then from hero to zero, 1997, 99, 22 months he kept me in cold storage. He would come, materialize vibhuti, give it to the man in front, the man behind, the man on both sides. He would sprinkle the vibhuti and then move. He would not speak, not only with me, he boycotted all the four of us. There's no reason, absolutely no reason according to us. We have been good children. But still, the silence period is always a part of an avatar. This you would test. The test is my taste that way. Let me give you one small instance. Ramana Maharshi had a lovely staff member called Akilandamma. Akilandamma served Ramana Maharshi for 40 years. She was looking after the kitchen. And then in 1948, Ramana Maharshi's body was not cooperating with him. He was on his way out. Ramana Maharshi left the body in 1950. So the lady comes to Ramana Maharshi and tells him, Master, உங்களுக்கு உடம்பு சரியாயில்லைன்னு சொல்கிறா, டாக்டர்ஸ் எல்லாம் வந்துன்னு போயின்னு இருக்கா, டாக்டர்ஸ் ஆர் கம்மிங் அண்ட் மீட்டிங் யூ, பீப்புள் ஆர் சேயிங் இன் தி ஆஷ்ரம் தட் யூ மே நாட் லிவ் ஃபார் லாங், அண்ட் தென் போகிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி எனக்கு ஒரு மெசேஜ் கொடுத்துட்டு சந்தேஷம் கொடுத்துட்டு போங்க. பிஃபோர் யூ லீவ், give me some sandesham. This is what happens. Having served for 40 years, here is a lady asking the master, you know what master said? Chumma iru. Chumma iru. Just be. There's not, when you are with the master, you need not do anything, just be. And she couldn't understand. She started asking everybody in the ashram. She said, Chumma iru, Chumma iru. This is exactly the treatment that Sathya Sai Baba gives to many people. At that time, when he is trying to avoid, and at that time the concentration is more, but once Sathya Sai Baba stops talking to you in the ashram, what happens, you know? Accommodation officer will give you a problem. In the sense, you will not have accommodation. Then other people will stop talking to you. People start judging, this fellow has done something wrong, that is why Swami has stopped talking. And then accusing finger always. He has done something wrong and that is why Swami stopped. It's not like that. There is a reason. One day, the secretary sent a message saying that you have to vacate the room. He said, you already stayed here for 3 months, you can't stay. He said, look, I can't vacate. Master tells me in my dream that I should stay. He may not talk to me in your presence, but Master tells me. He said, sorry sir, you have to vacate. And then I had to tell him on that day, you all put chairs, Swami chair in your office. Do you think it is empty? Is not Swami sitting there? Antaryami is not there? Casually I asked him. And this gentleman got wild and he said, stop your Vedanta, please vacate the room, otherwise I will send the security to, take out all your luggage. I said, sir, I can't vacate. I will not vacate. You do whatever you like, because Master told me to stay. But on that day I looked at him again, the chair is not empty in your office. This gentleman goes back to the office, to Swami that afternoon. Swami showed him the letter. Supposed to have been written by me. Listen to this carefully. And the gentleman said, Swami, has he reported to you? Look, just go through this letter. Don't disturb him anymore. In fact, you should provide all other amenities. Make sure that a mosquito net is properly, net is everywhere in the room. Kitchen is open. In fact, there should be sevadal outside. All sorts of instructions are given. That evening secretary calls me and says, "Did you report to Swami?" I said, "No, sir, I have not reported." He said, "You are telling lies. Swami showed me a letter that you have written. Swami also told me that you are a Tamilian, but you write beautiful Telugu. I saw the letter." I said, "Sir, everything is possible, sir. Everything is possible, but I have not written the letter." He won't believe. And this is Swami. He says, "If you change your route, I will. If you change your seat, I will change my route." This is what, when he could do that, that means he had the concentration. He knows where you are seated. He may not talk to you. And then this particular drama, 97 to 99, it went off. It was a great struggle. But anyway, I became totally a zero. Then later, on the 27th, that zero becomes a big hero in Prasanthi Nilayam. How? After 1 year and 10 months silence period, Swami sent a message to me asking me to go and get admitted in the hospital. I said, "Swami, I'm here and healthy, there's no problem." "No, go to the hospital." On 27/6/99, I was admitted. Then 15/7/99, Swami comes to the hospital to see me. Doctors from America arrive to carry out open heart surgery. Swami visits me on 21st/7 again in the hospital, sits, and then began cross-examining me. What are the questions he would ask? First thing, he would give vibhuti, and then he told me, "I told you I will look after you." ఏమీ భయం పెట్టుకోవద్దు, అన్నీ నేను చూసుకుంటాను. డోంట్ ఫియర్, ఐ లుక్ ఆఫ్టర్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. నిన్ననే రావాలనుకున్నాను. ఎస్టర్డే ఐ వాంటెడ్ టు కమ్ అండ్ సీ యూ. నిన్న అమావాస్య, మంచి రోజు కాదు. ఎస్టర్డే వాజ్ అమావాస్య. నాట్ ఎ గుడ్ డే ఫర్ తెలుగు ఆంధ్ర పీపుల్. అమావాస్య ఈజ్ నాట్ గుడ్ డే. ఫర్ Tamilians is a Naranjan holiday. Here is Avatar, who is neither Andhra nor Tamilian, and says that in Amavasya, manchi roju kaadu nenu chuchutu, valla paakartike nalla naadile. That means, in order to come and see you on that day is not an auspicious day. Nenu cheppi pampanu, Safaya cheppada. I told this to Dr. Safaya, who is the director of the hospital, to go and tell you that I will not be coming. Did he tell you? America నుండి డాక్టర్స్ వస్తున్నారు. I have summoned 2 doctors from America, and then they will come and perform your open heart surgery. Then I asked for Pada Namaskar. Swami said, "Vangaddu, you are not supposed to bend, you are very serious. You remember, I did not speak to you for 22 months. You know why? If I had spoken to you, you would have gone back to look after your work. Because I kept you for a reason. I wanted you to be around me. If I called you and talked to you, you would have taken my permission and gone. So I have averted this. Don't worry. Take Pada Namaskar. I will come." He pulled the chair and then put his lotus feet on the bed, asking me to take Pada Namaskar. Then when I took Pada Namaskar like this for a long time, he said, "Why are you taking one year Pada Namaskaram? Because you're not, why are you taking 1 year Pada Namaskar? Get up. I said, then he asked, "Ekkada bharya? Where is the wife?" I said, "Swami, she is waiting." This interview took place in critical care unit, CCU, for 22 minutes. And then, when Swami visited on the 21st, he goes around, operation fixed for 22nd July. Two surgeons come from United States. The surgeon came and met me, went to report to Swami. Swami said, not 4, 5. The surgeon says there are 4 blocks in the artery, Swami. Sathya Sai Baba says not 4, 5, without saying the report. Then Swami corrects this American doctor saying that the artery that moves like this, in the junction there is a big one. Don't you think it is blocking this artery and that artery in the junction? So that's 5. That was the turning point of that doctor too, for that matter. On this day, the date has been fixed for the operation, 22nd. Previous day he comes again, 21st. He goes to ICU. There are 8 beds in the ICU. He has selected one bed and said, put Venkatesh on this bed. He called the nurse, said, take Pada Namaskar. Look after him when he comes after the operation. He goes to the operation theatre. There are 2 operation theatres. He wanted to bless one table. He blessed one table. As he was entering the operation theatre, something has happened. One doctor looked at him, a mature fellow, and said, Swami cannot enter into operation theatre without scrubs. He should wear. And then director said, shh. Director said, don't open your mouth. And then Swami is in Chippadu, junior doctor. Junior doctor is saying something. What did he say? When I was entering, he said something. Swami, forget about him. No. He is also doctor. Come. Swami, you are supposed. Oh, that green one. So I have to wear green one. That's what you said. Idi energy ra. This is energy, this is not the body. This is what Swami revealed on that day. Idi energy ra. Who is the Indian doctor to assist these 2 American doctors in this surgery? Call him, take Pada Namaskar. Just before getting into the car on that day, the director, Saphaya, was at the car. He opened the door. While Swami was getting into the car, it seems he said, I will come again tomorrow for the operation. Saphaya was shocked. He said, why should Avatar behave like that? And then the question he put at the end has further shattered everything. He said, he has done so much, taken care, advised everything. Finally, he asked one thing. Ma Venkatesh came, danger ledu kada. He made arrangements, meticulously he has done so much. And then he was telling, I hope Venkatesh has no danger. Will everything go well? Dr. Saphaya got confused. He comes to me, to the room, and then he asked me, he said, sir, who are you? Why should Swami behave like that? What is your relationship with Swami? He has never done like this. He was so meticulous, arranging everything. I mean, I have seen so many VIPs have been admitted in this place. This is Swami. Operation on that day, 22nd, was 9:30. Swami changed the time because that night I had a very severe chest pain. Only Swami knows. I never told the doctors in the hospital. 9:30 was the operation. Swami comes at 5:45 for darshan, calls my wife and gives vibhuti and says, run and put it in Venkatesh's mouth before he goes into the operation theatre. The timings have been shifted to 7:30. The doctors have come for darshan. They were seated in the veranda. When Swami cuts short and goes to them and says, go to the hospital, you commence your operation at 7:30. And the doctor says, no Swami, everything has been arranged for 9:30. We fixed it. No, Swami said, last evening I changed the timings. Operation was successful. I was admitted in the hospital. I was taken to the ICU, but the pain continued. Swami appears in the dream, brings out some clots, and then shows it to me. Venkatesh, see, the doctors have done the operation, but the clots, on account of that you had this pain. Don't worry, for you will be safe. I will tell you when you will be discharged. On 7th night, he comes again in the dream and says, he puts his ear on my chest and then says, Venkatesh, everything is fine. Come to the ashram. 8th morning, I was discharged. Totally 39 days stay to carry out this complete. Delay is not denial. His time is best. Our prayer to God should be, thy will be done, thy time is best, thy the hero, I the absolute zero. There was one Deepala Pichaya Shastri, a great Pandit from West Godavari. He used to come for Yajna, Dashara Yajna. The first time when he came, Swami told him, I'll call you tomorrow. When Swami tells that Swami would call you tomorrow, we will start preparing a shopping list, the questions and all that. The first question that he has written in his shopping list was, Swami Nidrapotada, will Swami sleep? I was there on that day. Swami tells him, "Nee nidra pote no nidra lestavara." If I sleep, do you think you can get up from your sleep? Constant integrated awareness. It cannot sleep. It cannot forget. There is no forgetting at all. Swami once told my second son Deepak, when he was not even in the school, before admission, in the dream, he said, Deepak, I will take you to Kodaikanal when you are 23. At that time, Deepak was not admitted in the school. Later on, when Deepak was admitted in the school, from primary he went up to postgraduate level. He finished his MSc and he completed 22 and 23. He was trying to avoid Swami because he wanted to go to IIT. IIT entrance examination was coming up. He never wanted to go to Kodaikanal, and he sat outside when Swami comes into the mandir and says, where is that tabla boy? My both the sons, they were in bhajan group in Prashantanilayam Mandir bhajan group. He said, where is that tabla boy? Somebody goes and brings one tabla boy. Swami says, not this boy, his brother who is working in super speciality. And when they discover he was 23 at that time, Swami has taken him to Kodaikanal, and then we returned. Brothers and sisters, one thing I can tell you in conclusion, there's a simple thing that has happened. A group called Sadguru group from Shirdi came to Prashantanilayam. This was on 24th February 2007. They came and sat. About 700 people dressed up just like Shirdi Baba with a headgear and all that, orange. Swami, 3 days Swami ignored them. On the 4th day, Swami wanted to give a mini discourse, an interview type of a thing outside, in the Kulwant hall. In that mini discourse, this is what he said. Me namasmarana mimmalni chutukku teeskuni vachindi. Your namasmarana that you have been chanting the name of God brought you people here. Kshetramanaka vacharu kshetrajnani chudandi. You have come to the kshetra, Puttaparthi kshetra. See this kshetrajna. Parachintana vadali paramatmani chintalo padandi. Don't unnecessarily get involved in the mundane worldly matters. Drop those things and then think of God. Mayanu vadali madhavani chepattandi. Mayanu vadali, in the name of Maya, Mayalone putti, Mayalone perigi, Mayaneruganeru mandamatulu, Bratukuta Maya, Pututa Maya, Samsarambu Maya, Chavu Maya. Yoga Shakti and Maya Shakti is 50-50. In each one it functions like that. Even God, Avatar, cannot escape. But Avatar knows, the awareness of Avatar knows that is Maya Shakti, whereas we do not know. That's why we are all called 100% Maya. This group has come to find out how can this Baba of Puttaparthi be Shirdi Baba. They never believed. But Baba has been declaring from the beginning, Munushiradi Neduparthi Unavadani Perugani Tanu Bhavana Cheyu Bhaktula Kanulande Melagunanna. I was in Shirdi earlier, today I am in Parthi. But let me tell you where I am. The very thought, in the thought I exist. Kannu vippi chudaranna ye devadevuni yannaga manayandu kaladanna. He is very much within. But you are not able to see with wide open eyes. Gattu chepu matanna varala gatti odala patti chudaga pattu battala gatti bhaktula chuttu tirige potti babanu. What a master. Way back in 60 he said, this is the same Shirdi now in Parthi. What is happening in the world? Shraddha, Saburi, we say, where is that Shraddha? Swami said, you all have faith, very few have trust in me. That trust is mainly responsible. On that note, I have to conclude with a statement. That's what Swami said way back in 1968 on the 17th May here in Dharmakshetra. With that we conclude. Who is he? సృష్ట్యాదుల నుండి మానవుడు ఏ రూపనామములో భగవంతుని ఆరాధిస్తూ వచ్చాడో ఆ రూపనామములన్నీ ఈ సాయి స్వరూపంలో నిక్షిప్తమై ఇమిడి ఉన్నాయని గ్రహించండి. ఫ్రమ్ ది బిగినింగ్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్, ఫ్రమ్ ది బిగినింగ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ క్రియేషన్, మ్యాన్ హూ హ్యాస్ బీన్ ప్రేయింగ్ టు గాడ్స్ అండ్ గాడెసెస్, వాట్ ఎవర్ నేమ్ అండ్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ఫార్మ్, ఫ్రమ్ ది బిగినింగ్ all those names and forms are in this body, nikshiptamai. That is, secretively it is this. That is what you should understand. We did not live with such a type of a man-God. We lived with God-man. On that note, thank you very much for the patient listening. I am indeed grateful to this Dharmakshetra devotees for calling me. And when my Dinesh called me, I have been trying to postpone, but finally it so happened this morning I went to Mahasamadhi and prayed. I said, devotees of Dharmakshetra Swami. Please bless them. I have already informed and then got into the aircraft. Jai SAIRAM.
It is said, भक्त प्रेम के पाले पढ़कर प्रभु को नियम बदलते देखा. You saw the life of Sir, how Swami has gone into such a detail. The Lord who has created the entire creation, he came down and to his devotees, he held their hands, held their fingers and took care of them in such minute details. When we share our love, when we do any seva, when we share our love with our family members, when we do work in our workplaces, can we go into that minute detail and show and express our love, that love for Bhagawan? Bhagawan, as he is the Lord of the universe, he will take us to the highest heights, he will drag us to the lowest valleys, but he is always with us. Sir, on behalf of the entire city of Mumbai, I thank you for having come just a week before Mahashivratri. Swami says that in the last 15 days, the mind and the moon are correlated. How the moon gets smaller, the mind also should start getting smaller and smaller, and on the night of Shivratri, it should completely disappear. I pray on behalf of the entire city that this talk of yours inspires us to make our mind go towards the lotus feet of Bhagawan, and as Shivratri comes, we completely are immersed in Bhagawan's thinking. Thank you, sir. On behalf of the entire city of Mumbai, I request Rajiv Uncle to come and share a small token of our love with sir.